All right, today we are Ecker Hill Disc Golf Course in Vernon, Connecticut. This is my home course. I play here the most out of any course in the state. I play for the Team Challenge team here, but one thing I've never done here is shot 7 down, which would be technically 1,000 rated. Pretty closely. I think it's like 1,006 last time I saw it on PDGA. Hole one is 265 feet. I'm just gonna try to take my stable heat and try to shoot this right gap past this big tree. The basket's a little tucked to the left past that big tree, so see if we can execute. Ooh, sneaky gap. Get through. All right. I like it. You're definitely not seeing the shot for a second time because I forgot to reconnect my microphone. So, yeah, just deal with the fact that this is definitely my second shot, but you cannot hear me at all in the first one. So, now we'll just tap in that par. Similar shot. I'll go show you both of them. As you can see, the blue one was my second shot. This A5 was my first that you will never see the light of day. Actually, I might leave it in there, but with no audio. Yeah, I just forgot to push the button on my little microphone. I am trying this new setup with the microphone on the hat. We'll see how it goes. I'm not a big hat person. Hole 2 is a 225-foot par 3 going straight uphill. I hope you can see the elevation in the camera, but we're going to take my green heat I threw in the last hole. Try to replicate the same kind of shot, but more uphill. Tuck in there nicely. Be a nice bird to get. Start the round off. Ooh. This is why I wear high tops. Welcome to hole 3 at Ecker Hill. This is actually a new hole to the course. We put it in last fall. It used to be about 35 feet to the right in front of this, but a couple trees fell down, made it almost too easy, so we moved it a little bit back. It's still the same essence of the shot, but it's definitely still a gimme two, but at 170 feet, you still have to navigate some trees to get the tapping bird. But I'm gonna try to take my flippy heat, just put it on a forehand, because I feel like with my miss in the forehand, it's still putting. Miss that tree. Yeah, let's go. Tapping. Not gonna lie, that might be the closest I've put it to the basket. Hole 4, 240 feet. You can kind of see the white stake through that little like V gap. That's not the gap I'm going for, but it'd be nice if I could hit it. I'm gonna take my buzz, try to pipe it through this like tight right gap because I struggle to really get the flip up on this left side. I will do my best to get out of the way for the shot. Or just go sneaky wide hyzer. You know what? All things considered, this hole is tough for me. I will take that. All right, we're a little pinched off here, but I should be able to reach out and get an easy tap in 3. Yep, sweet. Just gotta tell myself par is good. Bogeys will set you back if you're trying to break 1,000. So right now we're 2 down through 4. Good pace, honestly, to break 7. I wish I could give you a better camera angle, but that's like the really only gap you'll be able to see the basket. So you'll probably see just my arm following through. Hole 5 is a par 3, 196 feet. Goal is just to shoot something up and like a slight hyzer. It's not a hard shot, but kick right or left, it could be a little bit of a jail situation. It's gonna be a tough par. Maybe. All right, we ended up being a little bit closer than I thought we were. A little CT slide. Definitely not a gimme. But want to give it a good bid. Yep, not mad at it. This is technically not a gimme for me because my putting's been rough recently, but should be able to make this. Let's go. Like I said, as long as I'm not bogeying holes, we're in a fine spot. We're 2 down through 5. goal 7. Um, this is a hole that I don't really think I'm going to birdie. Maybe just nice to get away with the par here. Par 3, 396 feet, downhill, hole 6. Um, realistically, if you just get past that last big tree, you're going to be fine to at least get a par. That's the goal. I'm going to take my Athena. But on the slight hyzer, hopefully it doesn't flip over. That's that tree. You know what? All things considered, dead center fairway should be an easy 3. Can't go right at the basket, so I got to take this hyzer line. Goal is just to not hit that big tree. Dead center in my way. Taking my rubbery A5. Hopefully it catches the ground nicely. Tap in 3. Oh, get off. All right, that's under the basket. Let's go. I thought that branch was going to kill it, but we're good. All right, hole 7, par 3, 391 feet. Big bomber shot. It takes a true 391 feet of distance to get there. The tunnel's not super small, so it is a pretty forgiving gap. But if you're too far left, too far right, it can be kind of dangerous. I'm going to take my slightly flippy nuke and just try to pipe it. That might be under the basket, which would be huge. All right, not as parked as I was hoping it would be, but in theory, this should be an easy 2. Only about a 10-footer. Made these in my sleep, but I've also missed these in my sleep. Let's go. Hole 8, par 3, 270 feet. Really, all you have to do is miss that one tree with the split in it. I have seen dozens of times people actually shoot through that gap, and it's pretty fun, but goal is just kind of take my buzz and loft it out there on a little bit of hyzer. I got in the way, I'm sorry, but it should be okay. All right, we're looking at about 30-footer. Goals to not be too dumb aggressive, so it goes into like the roll off hill. I'm just gonna get this nice soft bid. Exactly what I wanted. I'll go tap that in. All right, hole 9. Finish the front 9. 268 par 3. This is a hole that I usually struggle with, but my team captain has been giving me this new line. Goals to hit it. You probably could barely see the orange in the pole through some of those gaps down there. But this is probably the best angle you're going to get for me throwing in the basket. So try to execute. That's fine. Putting from there. All right. We got a slope green. Goals to throw it in the basket so we don't have to worry about it. You sit. All right. Fine. Tap in 3. I left it short, so but I'm okay with a par here. We got some nice birdieable holes on the next couple stretch. Quick 9-hole recap before I tee off on 10. Currently sitting 3 down, so I need 4 more. This is arguably the softest hole on the course as a par 4, only 319 feet, which might shock some people, but the reason it's a par 4 is you're throwing up like 150 feet of elevation. It is a hike. Goal is just to try to get something up to the top of the mound so we can attack the second part of the hill. Like I said, this is anything over 220 feet is a win on my book for here. As they're throwing straight uphill. That should be okay, but we'll see. Right. A little further right than I wanted to. Just gonna take my Athena, try to forehand something up there. An easy 3. Goal is to throw straight. Oh, this hill's no joke. This hole gets the name of Ecker Hill right here. Hole 11, par 3, 249 feet. Not a hard hole per se, but with the downhill slope, the green comes into play a lot more than other holes on this course. You really want to keep it low, play for the skip. There is some trees that are kind of like guarding the back of the basket to prevent rollerways, but it can still happen. I'm gonna take my 300 soft A5 and just flip it down there. Or just shank everything. All right, not a great shot by any means, but goal is just to take my rubbery A5, have it sneak right under the basket. That sits will be great. Goal being a putt, so we'll be fine. Just a nice little 12-footer. I gotta straddle it because it's one little tree, but it shouldn't be too much problem for us. Huge par save. Hole 12, par 3, 267 feet. Got a big pushing hyzer that you want to hug the inside to get as far left as possible because the basket's kind of like in that direction. There is this like sneaky forehand gap you could go through, but it's more of a winter line. It's a little overgrown right now. I'm just going to try to hug the inside with my balance. Miss everything. I think I'm in edge of circle, but we'll find out when we get down there. That's kind of the issue of going too inside. You kind of end up being a little short. Gonna flip it here. Try to sink this. The straddles the play. Let's go. It's a huge bird. All right, hole 13, par 3, 272 feet. This is one of the trickier holes for the course. I have to imagine it probably plays pretty close to 3 or 4. No, I don't see many 2s on here. I've done it once, but you know, it's not a common occurrence. I know the real birdie line, if you want to do it, is just blast something at the back wall of trees and hope you get through it going left. Because that'll put you on top of the hill. But I'm just gonna take my nitro, try to hug the inside and get the skip play. Miss that tree. You know, it's center fairway, it should be fine. I'm gonna give this a nice Annie bid, Anheuser bid. Goal is just to get on top of that crevice. Came out my hand a little early, but it's up there. Whew. And all right, hole 14, par 3, 229 feet. The play for a lot of my teammates usually is go with thumber here, but I've been a little inconsistent with that play recently, so I'm going to go back to my forehand flick option, taking my soft zone OS. This is the only hole on the course that I have an ace on. Blind shot around the left side of that big tree. You can't really see the basket. You might be able to see the white pole sticking out from the top of it, but the goal is just to kind of put something on Annie in the forehand, have it fight back to the right, get down there. It's a tough green when you get over the hill. Fight out of it too quickly. Honestly, that was a great tree. It might be circle 1. Definitely getting some home course love today. Because, well, yes, this is a pretty straightforward hole. Sometimes it can get very fluky coming into this green. We'll take it too. All right. Hole 15, par 3, 286 feet. Another hole that's like almost near impossible to birdie. I've never even gotten close. Have gotten like long, like 75 footers, but goal is just to honestly get to that wide tree, get up and down for a par, because if we can get out of here without a bogey, we're in a good spot. Oh, crud. I spoke too soon. All right. The three is not dead yet, per se, so it's going to be tough. I was thinking forehand without the really accepting the bogey, to be honest. We're going to try to force turn over this heat, try to get in, maybe get a chance to save the par. I think a worst case scenario is it goes a little far too left, and we still pitch out to save the bogey anyway. So, that's a putt. That's a putt. All right, we have a chance to save par here. Let's don't mess it up. I was due for one bad one. It's okay. Still have a chance. Using my chalk bag as a mini. Take the bogey. Move on. Hole 16, par 3, 286 feet. Downhill shot, slight to the right. I will say, the fact that I only need 2 more birdies out of these last 3 holes to reach 7 down is something that was not on my list today. You know, I thought this was going to be like a multi-month series where I'd get better and better. And I'm setting the bar pretty high. It'd be great to just get it done first try, but we're going to take my M4, try to flip it up, hug the left side, and not hit anything. I lost it. I hope I can find it. Very tight gap. I'm really just going to try to hammer through a little high circuit line, get to the basket, tap in my 3, and just really hope to birdie the last 2 holes. It's a putt. We got that. All right, flip it over. Gotta get this putt if we want to stay in contention for the 1,000-rated round. Let's go. There's still hope. All right, we gotta get the next 2 holes. Otherwise, we do not hit 1,000 rated today. Hole 17, par 3, 313 feet, downhill to the right. The most straightforward play is just to take a forehand, hang it wide, have it crash in. You don't want to be in the stuff on the right because it's kind of jail over there, and obviously the road plays OB. So just gonna keep it safe with the Captain's Raptor. Almost aim towards like that soccer goal. I love it. I'll take that all day. Well, this was almost an ace. All right, one more. Can we do it? Currently at 6 down, regardless, to win today. All right, hole 18, par 4, 537 feet. OB left on the road. The stuff on the right doesn't play OB, but it is kind of jail, so it's basically automatic par at best. Yeah, 1 stroke away from being 7 down. Was not on my list today, but we are here, and we're gonna execute. Taking my green nuke because I actually throw it. It's not gonna blend in with all the trees. A nice, safe shot. See if we can get that second shot down. All right, we're about 200 feet away from glory. Gonna take my balance. Try to hug the hill. Don't go too far right. Big skip. Big skip. It's gonna be close. I think we're in the circle though. A putt for 7 down. I'll take it. Come down to this. Oh, come on, JJ. It was a bad putt. Oh, excuse me, B. All right, so that was episode 1 of Breaking 1000 here at Ecker Hill in Vernon, Connecticut. Did not reach my goal today. I shot -6, so that round rating will calculate to about something like this. And then my total scorecard on UDisc is here. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a monthly series where I try to get to 7 down here. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for tuning in.